Instagram. You can tell me wherever you want to tell me. You know, it's going to be heartbreaking for some of you. But I have noticed some things in the Cat BLANC episode. Okay, I don't even know where to begin with this, honestly. This is just a shortcut on what I'm about to say. But in the Cat BLANC episode, when Marinette reached Cat BLANC's timeline, yes, he did call out for her. I believe his words was, God, this is hurting me so much. Oh my God, this is just god awful. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. When he noticed that Ladybug showed up, his first response was, "Well, lady, you're here. I thought I lost you." Oh. Okay, you're thinking that that's probably why he said, Ladybug, I thought I lost you. That was the Adrien part of his heart saying, oh my gosh, I lost you. But if you look at the episode, clearly you can see, yes, he was glad that Ladybug was there to fix it. But who did he call out for? He said, "You're breaking more than my heart, Marinette." Let me rephrase that. Now you're breaking more than my heart, Marinette. What do you think he meant by that? Oh, ouch, ouch. And then she was shocked because she goes, "Marinette? I don't know what you're talking about." And he said it again. He said, "Give me a hug, Marinette." He didn't say, "Give me a hug, Ladybug." He was hinting that he was in love with Marinette Duponchain, okay? And I think that happened right after we figured out that he was akumatized, because his father found out he was Cat BLANC, or Cat Noir. And that's when he decided to make him Cat BLANC. And he'd already planned this pretty much for a while, apparently, that he was going to akumatize his own son. I mean, because the way he said, "Cat Noir, my son?" Yes. He felt so thrilled about that. Like, okay, we not only got the fish out of the water, basically, Marinette was going to akumatize. He even called Marinette his masterpiece. So that made me wonder, did he know or assume that she was Ladybug? Because remember, he was going to akumatize her on other several occasions too. But he never got to. There was twice. The first time when Lila was in the class during where she was telling him, I want to, sit beside Adrien, But no, it didn't work out the way she wanted to. Lila couldn't hear or see in this episode of, I think it was Chameleon. And she almost got akumatized then, if you remember correctly. But they said that to resist it, I think it was Tiki who said to resist it. So she did. Now, here's where it gets strange. Did he know that he was akumatizing Marinette? I don't know. But maybe he sensed he might have been. And that's not only the first time. He's tried a second time too. And the second time, if I'm not mistaken, it was during if I'm not mistaken, it was for Miracle. Oh, was it? No, it was for the episode Ladybug, I think, where she was going to be. I was thinking her mother was going to be Variety Queen, and she was going to be Princess Justice. That was such a close. Now, they say 3 times the charm, so I don't think this is the last one. Even not counting Cat Blanc, I think the third one will be when she really gets akumatized. Now, I don't know if it'll be as Marinette or if it'll be as Ladybug, but there was a hint of Princess Justice. So maybe Princess Justice is going to be like the akumatized version of Ladybug. I'm not saying that's the case, but what if it is? Okay, I'm back to where he talked about Marinette as well. I know I keep switching back and forth. This is just a lot of stuff in my head, so give me a moment here. Marinette, he called for Marinette in the Plant Blanc episode. And it may have been because he got close to her as Cat Noir. Remember when he was discovered by Hawkmoth to be Cat Noir was actually his son. So when she found out, when Ladybug as herself, as the alter ego, there was a door sign. And it looks like, honestly, if you look really closely, it looks like a ladybug. And she had the black umbrella in her hand. What did she do with it? She threw it to the side, which meant she was forgetting about Adrien, and she ran over to Cat Noir. So I wonder if that sign with the little ladybug on the little emblem is both parts of her accepting Cat Noir, because she threw away the umbrella. She did not keep that umbrella. She threw it. She's like, forget this. You know, I don't need this umbrella. To remind me that this man pretty much saved me not only for being akumatized, but for me making a fool of myself when I become akumatized. He saved me not only as Adrien, and you gotta remember this was after when Desperada was in there and he saved her. How many times? Was it 1,325 times? It was for 3 months. I do know that much. And it was, she knew then that yes, this needs to keep her. And she knew that even though she had fallen in love with Adrien, that Cat Noir was with her this whole time. And Cat Noir meant the world to her. Already as Ladybug, but even more so now. So I think Marinette will be the last one. I mean, if you look really closely of how everything has been, the what's missing of the equation is Cat Noir and Marinette. Because we already had scenes of Adrien like crazy, like so many times. So many I can't even count. Like the dance, the Gorzella. I mean, there's just so many of them. And then there's the Adrien, where she meets up with him and stuff, and finally got to be with him in Desperada. I know you guys don't like Desperada because Adrien doesn't look beautiful, but that was intentional from the creator themselves. They even said it. They had to make him look unattractive. And there's a point to that. He was not the right fit for the Snake Miraculous at the time. Luca was. And everyone was complaining that Luca couldn't look good. You know, why didn't Luca look good? Luca fine looked good. And still people were upset that, you know, you made Luca look good, better than Adrien. Well, he wasn't fit for the Americas. Cat Noir looks great as Cat Noir. You know, Adrien looks great as Cat Noir. That's who he is. That's who he is as a Miraculous holder. So I'm just like, why are you guys complaining? Stop. You know, stop. Okay, on with that part of the storyline. The fact that he saved her so many times, she was able to be with him. You know, she was like, okay, I can open up more to myself. I mean, not only does he know I'm Ladybug, and the reason he didn't tell her why he knew she was Ladybug was probably because he was scared. He was scared that she would reject him again. So he thought he'd just keep it a secret. At least show her what he was capable of, what he could do to make her happy. I mean, she was sitting there making little heart cookies for heaven's sakes. So I'm guessing around Valentine's Day is probably when they were making little heart cookies, and that's probably around the time she had to break up with him. Sad, right? The same day, I mean, I've noticed these things. This was around Valentine's Day. It had to be because she was making heart cookies. And she was talking about how much, she was in love with him and adoring him and all this stuff. And I mean, this makes sense because remember in Dark Cupid, it was also Valentine's Day. Not only did she gain his love that day for that, she gained his love again on that Valentine's Day. Ouch. Ouch, right? Why didn't some people pick this up? I don't know. I just see these things when people don't. So Valentine's Day must have been the day that she pretty much had to break up with poor Adrien. That's why he's like, we're in love with each other, And Valentine's Day, why you break up with me on Valentine's Day, It doesn't make any sense. And it happened to be raining on Valentine's Day. Now, I don't know about the Valentine's Day in the special. I think it was sunny, which is kind of interesting. Went from sunny Valentine's Day to a weeping, crying, open door gate Valentine's Day. But it also showed that they came together. Now, a lot of people say they don't agree with this scene, but she, like I said, she dropped the umbrella, pushed it to the side. You see the little emblem of the ladybug right there on the gate. You can see it right there on the gate. You have to look close though. You didn't look at it, you didn't see it. It passed you by. But she threw away what she felt, which were her close feelings to Adrien, but then she released herself and fell in love with Cat Noir. That's what happened. And Cat Noir is his other part of his persona. It's part of the colorful mix of his personality. And I'm glad that it happened because that showed me that there was a possibility that these two can actually be together and accept each other for who they are. And this also, he seemed shocked at first, but he was happy that she finally accepted this. And you can notice they were such a duo when they attacked a Hawkmoth in his lair. And it was underneath Adrien's bedroom. So what I'm guessing is somehow or another they got caught into the bedroom where his bedroom is. And if you remember in the episode, oh gosh, what episode was that? The one where his father was akumatized. The last time they fought him, and he said, wouldn't take it out on his son, would he? You think he would take it out on his son? He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. So that was his bedroom. They were all scooped up into the bedroom. So it's interesting that that's the same area where they fall through also into his lair. Ooh, talk about the dragon's den. Oh my god, dragon fire. Sorry. It's ironic also. Okay, now getting back to, I'm sorry, I'm switching over and over. It's just trying to get you to see what I see here. Switching over, we also see the scenes of, this is in my head actually, where I could see like the canon version. We sit to the scenes where he's back with Marinette again. And he tells her, I want things the way they were. He speaks of her dreams and his dreams, and he speaks of it in a way that he says, it doesn't matter exactly what I want. I just want us to be the way we were before all this happened. I want their love back. And Marinette is not picking up these signals very well, actually. When he's throwing these bolts at her, he's trying to get her to understand. Listen to him. Listen to him. He's like, I want things the way they were. When he blasts her, he says that. And then he tells her, and then he's wondering what's going on. And he finally explains to her, he says, it was our love that destroyed made the world like this. You know, it was the world. It was our love destroyed the world. So it wasn't just their love that did it. He was assuming that it was because the fact that Ladybug and Cat Noir knew who each other were, and it's not a good thing. But the way Adrien went on about it, as Cat Blah, and I realized this, he's telling her there has to be another solution to this. If we can't fall in love as Ladybug and Cat Noir, maybe there's another way to go about this, you know? I mean, I don't know. I see the signs in there. I mean, you can say I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're right, but what I can see is what I see. I'm just giving y'all the download of what I saw through the canons. And each scene, I went over and over. I said, you know, this didn't make any sense, but then it does. He was telling, and then when he was flashing those bolts of light at her, those were, oh god, I hate to say this, those were nuclear energies. That's why it was able to eat up some of the bars of each little place he hit, because if a human was to be hit by these bolts or these little light beams, our bones would disintegrate. So that's the power of inside his claw. Is they call it the demon core. It's inside his claw. So that was why he was able to disintegrate a lot of stuff, even without really touching them, because his beam would disintegrate whatever it went through. It eat it up, and that's what the demon core would do to the human body. So good. Me and my cat, or my boyfriend, were talking about this and how, you know, how it would be to be, and it makes sense. And the light's blue, and it was such a pretty light blue, electric blue energy beam, according to what they had shown in the actual footage or content of back in the day when they tried to test these things. And it was a bolt, and it was really pretty blue, but it was beautiful but deadly. So his power is beautiful but deadly, and so is he. But it wasn't his fault. So when she fell into the water, I noticed another thing. When she fell into the ocean, did you know she didn't touch Hawkmoth's statue? I felt that kind of odd. What if it wasn't the real Hawkmoth? What if it was a sand monster? We don't know. I mean, we don't know how far in the future that would have been, that they told each other, you know, they love each other or whatever. What if it was a couple of months, like so many far months in advance, and he was able to know about the Sentai monsters, so he made his own version of himself as a Sentai monster? I think it was the very first episode of season 2. The Collector, that's what it was. In the Collector, he akumatized his own self to draw them off the senses too. But I think he did it also as an experiment. So what's to say he won't make a Sentai monster of himself? Oh, plot thickens, doesn't it? So if he can make a Sentai monster of himself, now that ladybug could be dead, and she did dissolve as if she was dead. But there was some strange reason why they didn't touch Hawkmoths. And that made me wonder. You remember, you remember Feast, where he was stuck in that little stone for how many years? And he didn't die, dissolve, or break up. Now, you could say it was from the lava itself, but I wonder if something else came down to that, where that's where it actually was a Sinner monster. Could have been that hawk moth under the ocean. And it could have been a trick, but it backfired. Instead, he blew up so many continents in that one jurisdiction. Now, here's the thing about that. In the vicinity of him doing so, he wouldn't destroy the whole world. He probably thought in his mind he did. But a bomb of that magnitude still wouldn't destroy everything. Maybe something off the map, but not to the point where the whole world would be destroyed. If that was the case, then the whole planet would have blew up. And if you look closely at the moon, it has claw mark on it. I mean, think about what a claw mark looks like from a cat, or a wild animal, and that's what it looks like to me. It looks like claw marks, which, believe it or not, is one of the concept arts that Thomas was bringing out a while back to see what the audience thought about it when we first started out Miraculous Ladybug and Cat War. Well, the tales of Miraculous Ladybug and Cat War. And here's the thing. He had these energy claws, and I wouldn't doubt if that goes into canon as well. It was in Cat War. Maybe not, you didn't get to see it, but it was there. You saw the beam of light hit the moon, but you don't see how he did it. If that makes any sense. So, yeah, I love making these little theories for you guys. Okay, what was the last question? Okay. Again with Marinette. Okay, when the butterfly was in his hands, he said, the first thing that came was, he didn't say Ladybug after he transformed back. He did not. He said, and I quote, Marinette. Ladybug did not come out of his mouth. This means, without a shadow of a doubt, that Marinette was the one he loved. Because if it was Ladybug, he would have said Ladybug. But instead, he said Marinette. And when she said, you're not supposed to know who I am, he knew then that his Marinette was gone. That's why he didn't hug back. That's why he was shocked when she ran over to him. You know Adrien, especially with someone he loves. He doesn't feel comfortable with people hugging him in a sense, in a romantic way. He don't mind flirting like he did in season 1, season 2, and season 3, somewhat. But he doesn't like people like that hugging him. He's shown it in season 1, season 2, and season 3. When girls try to hug on him, he's just like, okay, be nice about it. But did you see how he didn't flinch back, but it was more like that look is, okay, this isn't my Marinette. It feels weird. That is why he didn't hug back. And that's why when she says, don't worry, Cat Noir, I'm going to fix it. He didn't even have that look in his eye like, oh, okay. Maybe okay. But she said when you fix it, that's when his eyes lit up. Because he's like, yes, she's going to fix it. And he goes, I know. That was his way of saying, yes, I trust you. He's always trusting. But he does realize that this is not the one in his timeline that he fell in love with. He realizes that this marionette doesn't know their secret identity. And did you notice how he didn't say anything else? Like, he could have said, but marionette, we know each other. We were in love. And I'm Adrien. Did you notice he didn't tell her that? He hinted when he was akumatized, because when he was akumatized, he felt like, he needed to give her a reason to not fear him. He wasn't like the other akumatized victims who wants to hurt people. I think he was pretty much luring her to the spot where she would find out the truth. Now, what makes this really upsetting to me is the fact at the end of the story, or at least the part with BLANC, she didn't tell him anything. She didn't tell Marinette anything at all. So she probably fears Cat Noir. I want to see an episode where she doesn't fear Cat Noir anymore and cares for him, because it wasn't Cat Noir's fault on what happened. He did exactly what anybody would have done inside with their Akuma. He attacked. Because they're programmed to attack. But in his heart was still speaking out to her. You're not listening. You do not understand. So then he's putting his finger out and he's saying, you know what? You're not going to listen? I'm going to make you understand. So that's when he pulled his finger, just enough power to break the rocks from underneath her. Or whatever she was, the metal or whatever it was from underneath her. Because he was like, look, this isn't getting through to her. She's not listening. She's not understanding. I have to show her the way. Because apparently she don't get this. So this is why I think this is where they balance each other out. She needs Cat Noir when she's in this mode. I think she wasn't in her Ladybug mode here. I think in a lot of ways she was in her Marinette mode. Because as soon as he said Marinette, she went to that I'm scared kind of jumping away, getting away kind of way. She didn't do her independent fight back mode as she would as her alter ego Ladybug would. That right there showed me that was her vulnerable side. That was Marinette's vulnerable side. I want to say her Marinette side because, they're the same person. But that would be her civilian type, part of her personality showing off itself. And I think that's why she didn't fight back. Because this was Cat Noir, this was her partner, her friend. And she didn't want to harm him. And there was times when she hid from him because she didn't want to fight. She didn't want to face him. And then he realized in the midst of the battle, looking for my Akuma, my lady, he knew. And then at the end of the battle, this is the most beautiful part of the whole scene of Camelot. Not only did he say he wanted to get all their love back and all that scene after that, he wanted to destroy the world because he figured if there's no reason for me to be around if you don't love me, he's like, she said, what did you do to them? And then he basically says, hold on, I'm trying to remember how those words was. I didn't mean to. Why don't you help me fix it? And then the truth is you don't love me anymore, So I'm destroying you, me, everything. Because he felt it wasn't worth anything anymore. I think it was a time bomb inside his, when he just wanted to go off. But this was the trigger. He was triggered. He was done not only had his father betrayed him, Natalie told on him. I'm sure that when he found out that Ladybug was telling him to resist it, but she didn't do anything to stop it. It didn't make any sense. Why didn't she stop it? You know, if she loved him so much, she should have like joined him or something, you know, to stop him from doing what he was doing before he became, you know, when he became akumatized. She shouldn't have feared him. She should just went over to him and held him. But she didn't. And that made her, I'm sorry to say, it made her like a coward, in my opinion. This Ladybug was a coward. Unless that wasn't her at all, and it's a sand monster. I don't know. Could be. Who knows? But the hot moth guy, he shielded himself. So he was more of a coward than she was. Yes, she did embrace him. I agree with that, and you can get mad about this. But if she truly cared about him, guys, she would have run in front of a train, okay? I'm just saying, there are times when I've been faced with death, and I would run in front of a train or a truck. There was a little kitten in the road, and I myself ran out into the road and got that kitten before that big 18-wheeler killed that kitten. So, if she could do it, if I can do it, then she can do it. If she truly loved him as she says she did, she would have sacrificed herself as well. And to me, she did not grow into a person to stop being sacrificial for others. What I can see of this timeline, Marinette, she was slightly selfish. So, when they changed the timeline, I wasn't too upset because, like I said, but we do have a little glimpse that Cat Noir loved Marinette. Cat Noir as Adrien and Adrien as Cat Noir loved Marinette. There's no doubt in my mind. However, Marinette took a while probably to accept Cat Noir because she was too fluffy, airy type, you know, Cloud9 version. She even states, you know, it's like I'm like on a little cloud, basically Cloud9 when she talks to Adrien or feels near Adrien. But Adrien and Cat Noir are the same person, so she has got to learn to accept both sides of parts of the personality, because you can't be with someone if you can only love one side of them. It just doesn't work that way. You would have so many fights, so many arguments. They have to come to grips with that, and that's why I believe Mirror Chat is the ultimate ship. Sorry, Adrien. Sorry, Adrien. Sorry, Lady Noir. But that's the one that has to come. Now, it may not be romantic feelings, or it could be, you know, like later on down the road. But I think they should go through the platonic stages first, like, you know, like sibling, help each other out in, like, I don't know, baking cakes, cooking together, fixing, like, I don't know, holiday decorations, you know, activities together, so they can get to know one another. And then when the time is right, they can do other things too, like be all romantic, and then we'll have all four square come together as one. Now, another thing I want to see, and because Tom and Jerry is finally out, Tom and Jerry, I feel that Multi-Mouse would be pretty popular. Multi-Mouse and Multi-Chat would be very popular because Multi-Chat and Multi-Mouse and Cat Noir would be such a cute little couple-like thing, even just for like a short time or just for fun, you know. And then of course the Snake and I don't know. Someone said what would be your strange ship would be Snake Noir and Lady Dragon, I guess. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I could see that. But anyway, I have to go, guys, because my thing is starting. really fast and long, and I don't want to keep you out there. But at least you know what's going on, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Miraculous.